up, dudes? HW here. Yo. Today, we are checking out maybe the forgotten Tube Screamer. I mean, this thing really is like a really interesting pedal. And it's not even the one we played at the beginning. No, the one we played at the beginning is maybe the most sought after. Probably not the most sought after, but up there because of John Mayer. The TS10 is fabled. It's loved. It's from the 10 series and of Ibanez. And it's great. John Mayer really put this on the map. You know, TS808, probably those vintage early ones like Stevie used. It's probably the most sought after. TS9 comes later. TS10 is known as the Tube Screamer with a little more clarity, and it really does sound amazing. Sounds good. But there is another. Which was it? The master or the apprentice? There is another. No, okay. Anyway, TS10, that's that guy. Super Tube. This is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite pedals out there, and I'll tell you why. People don't talk about it. People don't know that much about it. It's just like a Tube Screamer, but it's got a second JRC blah, 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 blah chip. You know what I'm saying? One of those sought-after ones that you pay a lot of money for. Or so they say. And then it just has an extra control on it. And I think it sounds a bit more like a cocked wah. You get what I mean? It's got that tone, man. That's something like a train. It's cool. The STL has a bite and a bright knob. Now, the bright is what I can tell is like the tone of the TS10. And so let me bump that up. Cool. Still has that cocked wah quality that I actually find really refreshing sometimes. I find it really like, it's got like a nasty sound to it. But if we turn up, you can kind of change it if you turn up that bite knob. That's where the pedal really gets interesting. I mean, that's a cool tone, man, you know? But there's a nice like kind of cleanup effect too when you get whatever it is, that bite frequency. It makes it a little more natural to me, a little more tubular. Which is why I say this is like the forgotten Tube Screamer. It's like a Tube Screamer, but it makes it a little less Tube Screamery in a way that doesn't immediately yell to my ear, "That's a Tube Screamer," you know? It's got kind of a nice got like a nice cleanup, you know? Okay, maybe it's still pretty tube screamery, but I think you get the point. It's really one of my favorite pedals, and the interesting thing about this is, while the TS10s go for a ton of money, these STLs, which are arguably, you know, better in the sense that you can kind of dial in more things with them. There's still a bit of a quality that I think is just there all the time. I think it's the double chip kind of thing. It's something, I can't really get them to sound identical. I've heard other people say they can get them to sound identical. I don't know how they're doing that. I can't get these two to sound identical. But what's interesting is the TS10 goes for a ton of money, and I picked this thing up for like $210. And you might go, well, HW, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but you know, apart from the JHS 3 series and like the $99 line from several people out there, most, you know, of the current, you know, kind of like boutique makers are at $200 for their pedals. They just are. You know what I mean? Most of the JHS, most of the other things tend to get to that $150, $200 price point. And for me, knowing that this is vintage and they're not making any more and they're probably going to go up in value, I think for it sharing the tonal similarities it does with that TS10, that fabled TS10, and for being a vintage pedal, I'm perfectly comfortable paying $200 for one of these, because I think it's just going to be worth in the future more. And I see them going for $250 and $300 with the box and everything. But you know, I personally, you know, think they're a real deal, you know? I'm an HW.